In this video, we're going to take a look at saving and exporting files with RX5 and RX5 Advanced. Now, this feature changed with RX3. So from RX4 onwards, the whole export process changed. And also with RX3 onwards, Isotope produced a new document format, the RX document. And you can see I've actually got an RX document open here. And the great thing about an RX document is not only does it save all the audio, it saves all the information. So I've got a full undo queue here, even though I worked on this project quite a while ago, because I saved it as an RX document. Then I have access to all that information as well as all the region markers. Everything is there, so I can actually work back through the undo history, even though I worked on this project maybe a year or so ago. All that information is all still there. So obviously I can save the project. Obviously it's saved at the moment. I can do a save as if I need to take the project in a different direction. So we could say version 2. So now we've got version 2, but again, we've still got all the information. The undo queue is still there. Now, the RX document can only be opened in RX3, RX4, or RX5. So if you want to be able to take material out of Isotope RX and open it in your favorite DAW, then you need to use the export option. So we can choose export. We can now choose from a range of file formats. So we've got WAV, and we can make that a BWF so that we can retain all the metadata. We've got AIAF, we've got FLAC, which is a lossless compression format, and we've also got the OGG format. So those are the 4 audio formats. And then we've also got a bit depth. And so if I were, for instance, going to save it as a 16-bit WAV file, then you can see that the dither option becomes available, and I can change the format of the dither noise. Then also, if I've got important metadata in there, non-audio data, then I can choose this option and actually transfer from the original file that I opened up in RX, transfer all that metadata across into the file that I'm now exporting. And we've also got the option to reopen this file in RX if we want to. So now I want to save it as a 16-bit file. I want the noise shaping, so we can click OK, and then we can save this as, say, fixed. And then that's that file saved. We can also export a selection from a file. And that doesn't necessarily need to be just a selection like this. It could be a time and frequency selection. So I could make that selection and then choose export selection, decide on my file format, dither, BWF, and now click OK. And we could call that cycle bell clip. And then it may well be that we want to export a region, so an identified region. So we could make a region like this, then go into the edit menu, add region or marker. It's now created a region because I highlighted a section of audio. So now what we can do is we can export region to file. So again, we can make the same settings and call this cycle bell region. So those are the export options we've got available to us. But we've also got these 2 export options as well. Export screenshot. So we can create a screenshot of what we're doing. We can set the file size of the image that will be created, hit the save button, and we can call that screenshot 1, save. So that's now a screenshot. Because if you're using Isotope RX for forensic work and you need to deliver evidence in a court of law, you're going to need to be able to show and prove what you've done to manipulate a file. So screenshots are one way, but the other way is to use this export history as XML. So we can select that, go cycle, bell, history, and save that. So here we have that XML file that I've opened up in Text Wrangler, and we can see the key information, the software it was created on, where I've saved that file, all the key information, sample rate, and an exact history of exactly what I have done all the way through the edit. So that if I need to provide evidence in a court of law, I can show exactly what I've done to the file. Although computers generally are reliable, things do occasionally go wrong. And so RX is actually saving in the background all the time, so that if the worst does happen and you get a crash, so when we reopen RX5, it says, oh, it wasn't shut down properly. Would you like to recover your previous session? Yes, we would. And back everything comes. All the tabs that I had open, the session that I was working on, all the undo history, there's the region that I created just a moment ago, all back and fine. So just to recap, we've got the option to save your work as an RX document. So if we go into this file here, then I can choose to save it as an RX document and save. So now that's there as noearth.rxdoc. We can obviously do a save RX document as if we need to go in a different direction. We've got the conventional file export options with the different file formats. We've got the option to export a selection, export regions, and then be able to export a screenshot or the history as an XML file if you're going to need to present evidence in a court of law. I'll see you again in another video.